I wanted to come on here and talk about this Lia Thomas situation. Now, I've only talked about Lia Thomas once, and that was on my live stream channel. And that was about over a month ago when I first brought Lia Thomas to many of you all's attention. And since then, this person has just literally been everywhere, like everywhere. Like you probably could not go someplace and not find anything pertaining to Lia Thomas. I'm sure if you just typed in swimming into the Google search, then that's exactly what you would find. Now, a couple things have happened or occurred since then. Most notably was happened in the last week or so. Lia Thomas, they said that they finished 5th place in one particular event. I think now they've broken some record. I think they said they're the first trans woman to win in an NCAA competition or place in the NCAA competition. But now the most recent thing that has come out is that Lia Thomas has finished in 8th in the 100-yard freestyle, which is dead last. So I'm not really here to talk so much about Lia Thomas's quote unquote accomplishments. I'm more here to talk about how we even got to this point, because this is beyond Lia Thomas at this point. And shout out to the amazing Lucas, because he actually did some commentaries about a commentary about Lia Thomas. And I have to be honest, I've got to slightly agree with what he was talking about. Maybe not every last thing that he was saying, but some things that he was saying in there actually made sense. Now, y'all know I've done several videos on my channel when it came to talking about Hall T, especially those who are born biologically male and now are living as a female, and how they are going to, and I kept telling people, especially the women, because this was really who was catered to, that they're going to start invading women's spaces. And you have to be prepared for what is going to come with that. I did a video talking about how it was this black trans woman who was on a panel with other black women talking about women's issues. I'm like, hold on, why are you talking about women's issues and you're not even a biologically born woman? But they allowed her to be there. Then I just recently did that video about MJ Rodriguez, who was named one of Time's Women of the Year. And by the way, I had got some pushback about that from her fans on Twitter when I posted the article, the story about that. And it was so funny just watching them get upset about that. It wasn't a lot, but some of them got upset. But I had replied to one of them right before I blocked them, when they were talking about, like, why am I, talking about this and everything like that. And I could tell they was a fan of hers, because they had the Pose, which was the show that they were a part of, as their avatar. Then another one came in with their picture of MJ Rodriguez as their avatar picture. Like, I'm talking about, like, you are faceless at this point. Why are you talking to me? I don't know you. But some of my subscribers and supporters and people follow me on Twitter got wind of what I was saying, because it's connected. And they went in, and I haven't seen a reply from them since. But anyway, yeah, they're literally invading women's spaces. Let's not even get started on Bruce Lynn Jr. This person literally pulled a complete 360, got into an accident as a man, transitioned to a woman, no charges brought. Fast forward, they get an award at the ESPYs for courage for transitioning. At that time, I guess that was courageous, but whatever. And so many other facets where Hall T manages to squeeze their way in. But now let's focus more so on Lia Thomas. Now, Lia Thomas was born William Thomas. So I'm guessing that's William right there on the left, and that's Lia on the right. Now, William used to compete in men's swimming, with the men, but he didn't quite cut it as a man. And what I mean is, he would rank really, really, really low as a male swimmer. So he couldn't cut it as a male swimmer and decided, you know what, bump this. I'm not going to live life as a man anymore, because as a man, I'm a loser and a lame. So I'm going to go ahead and transition into being a woman, quote unquote, and dominate there. And that's exactly what happened. because he went from 400 as a rank to number 1 as a rank as a female. And we know why, because you're talking about somebody who has strong bone density. They have a lot of testosterone, and that and a lot of other things, and muscle endurance, that is enough to beat a biologically born woman. Then you heard stories about how, when it came to the locker room, how some of the women in there, felt offended, or how they felt Lia Thomas got more special, preferential treatment over them, and all types of stuff like this. But it boils all the way up to this point where I say, to the women who advocated for this, to be so progressive, this is on you. And this is mainly on the part of a lot of white feminists. Because if you look at the ones who are complaining the most, it's mainly them. But at the same time, it's also mainly them that were advocating for it initially. So if you want to know why your Lia Thomases are popping up in women's sports, you can blame a lot of these so-called progressive white feminists. The ones that said we need to be all inclusive, and that intersectionality, I kept telling people that intersectionality stuff is going to bite people in the rear end, and it's chomping at the bit right now as we speak. It's practically no butt left. I kept telling people that intersectionality is no good and it has no place in society, because this is what ends up happening. When's the last time you heard of a trans man, someone who was born a woman who now lives as a man, try to compete in men's sports? Basketball, football, men's soccer, and any other sport where men are at, beside, the ones where they have to get really, really physical. I'm not talking about golf or anything like that. I'm talking about when you have to be really physical or use a lot of your body strength and endurance to win something in a competitive level. Win. Shoot, you can even say track or field. You're not going to find it. And why? Because most of the men are going to push back against it, because they know at the end of the day, they're not competing with a man. This person may present themselves as one, but they know internally they would destroy them. And the person who's living like that knows that as well. The only thing we got to deal with is a lot of these trans men out here getting pregnant and claiming that men can get pregnant. I talked about that last year. That's a hurdle we got to deal with. But I don't think that's a big of a hurdle. Hopefully it doesn't get overblown, but I don't think that's a big of a hurdle as what is going on right now with your Lia Thomases of the world. Like I said, we have been telling people over and over again that it was going to get to this point. Like, you are opening Pandora's box, and once Pandora's box has been opened, it's hard to close it back, if you can even close it at all. I even put a hashtag on Twitter, and I said, let me go ahead and see if I can find that hashtag, or not the hashtag, but the tweet itself. I said, white women dog paddled so Lia Thomas could swim and beat them. Hashtag, it's white women's fault. And see, what I'm doing is I'm shifting the blame where it should be directed to. So if you want to know why all of this is happening, like I said in the beginning, it's white women's fault. Hashtag, keep that in mind, store it somewhere. And now they're out there complaining and crying about Lia Thomas. You welcomed your Lia Thomas. You welcomed them in with open arms. Now you're stuck with them. Now, luckily for them, they said this was the last race of Lia Thomas's collegiate career, which means Lia Thomas is about to graduate. However, that means Lia Thomas is still in an age bracket where if they wanted to compete on an Olympic level, and they'll probably do it because, controversy sells. If Lia Thomas wanted to compete on an Olympic level, considering all the quote unquote strides they've made as a trans woman, what's going to stop them? Then that's when it's really going to get interesting. Because what's to stop them? I mean, they already let Lia Thomas compete on the collegiate level. They've already made quote unquote strides as a trans woman and breaking records and all types of stuff like that. What's to stop them from letting them compete in the 2024 Olympics? If they can if they can qualify, as far as all the stuff that needs to be dealt with before getting to that point. But what's to stop them from doing that if that's what they wanted to do? And by they, I'm talking about the Olympic Committee. I'm just saying, it could get to that point. You heard it here first. If Lia Thomas ends up in some kind of Olympic event, you heard it here first. I'm just saying, this, see what it's like 2 years from now. But yeah, PC women, y'all asked for it. You begged for it, and now you got it. It's no going back at this point. You can only go forward. This is when progressiveness goes wrong. I think I might actually put that on the thumbnail. When progressiveness goes wrong. Horrifically left. Oh well, it is what it is. You asked for it, you wanted it, and you got it. Now deal with it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you are new. Make sure you hit that bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live.